Right now at 6, the state legislative session begins.
Lawmakers are set to discuss everything from education to health care, gun laws to AI.
We're also getting ready for possible big changes in what it takes to own a home.
Why insurance premiums are going down as the governor pushes to eliminate some property taxes.
Plus, video you'll only see here on WESH 2 of 2 toddlers running in the middle of A1A.
I was terrified. If anything would have happened to him, the rest of my life would have been ruined.
How that man helped get those babies back home safely.
And temperatures above average today, but falling in a big way by Friday.
WESH 2 News Sunrise starts now.
Good morning. Thanks for starting your Tuesday with us. I'm Nancy Alvarez.
Good morning, everyone. Great to have you with us. I'm Alan Campbell, and it is cold out there this morning again. But Nancy, a lot of changes as we head towards the weekend.
It's going to get colder. Let's get straight to Eric first with a look at the week ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? Yesterday was nice and chilly. This morning, wonderfully cool. We'll warm a couple of days, and then it's just going to be frigid, and not Florida cold, but like real cold. Outside this morning, some high, thin clouds. It's a beautiful morning. It's 57 in the city, just dropped to 56 here in St. Cloud, and warmed back up to 50 degrees in Ocala. So we're hovering in this area, but definitely a little bit milder than yesterday, about 5-10 degrees warmer. And while our radar is quiet now, we do have a few showers in the forecast today. 10% coverage through the afternoon, but that builds tonight and especially starts picking up into tomorrow. Let's talk about the rains and help you navigate the forecast when I see it coming up in just a couple of minutes. Now at 6:01, let's help you navigate that morning commute with Megan Mackey.
Yeah, after a pretty quiet start this Tuesday, Eric, this is alive. Look here, I-4 in Volusia County. This is right near that I-95 interchange. No issues in either direction. Traveling from Seminole County into Volusia, and same thing the other way if you're traveling westbound. Looking here at I-4, this is closer to Winter Park. You can see a clear start heading towards downtown Orlando. No need for those express lanes, and any overnight construction I was monitoring in the 5 o'clock hour has wrapped up for that morning drive. I wanted to let you know about this crash, State Road 415. It's right at Collins Road. This is in Osteen, north of Osteen Maytown Road. So no heavy delays here, but a roadblock still reported in this area. So I'll be monitoring this crash. We'll also get a check in of some more live cameras coming up in just a few minutes.
Happening today, the Orange County Board of Commissioners are meeting, and they'll talk about the expansion of the Orange County Convention Center. Also today, immigrant advocates plan to urge commissioners to file a lawsuit to define the county's obligations to ICE. That meeting starts this morning at 9 o'clock. Also today, the Orange County Public School Board is expected to vote on the future of the historic Hungerford property. The school board drafted an agreement with Dr. Phillips Charities. We will be watching the school board meeting this evening, and of course, we'll let you know if the sale goes through.
The city of Orlando has approved a funding package to build the permanent Pulse Memorial. The city has received a nearly $400,000 grant from the state. Now, to get the grant, the city agreed to limits on how it can use the property. Construction on the memorial is set to begin this year.
We told you just moments ago the legislative session starts in just a few hours.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover here. WESH 2's Bob Hazen joining us live this morning. So, Bob, a lot will be talked about, but one of the big topics, property taxes.
Yeah, the governor has been pushing a plan to dramatically reduce or even eliminate the property taxes, and we'll see which ideas do survive throughout the session today. And even with all of those ideas floating around, the governor is also considering calling a special session in the spring to make sure that a bill or a measure that would eliminate property taxes could be on the ballot for voters to decide in November. Covering Orange County Live, Bob Hazen, WESH 2 News.
All right, Bob. Well, you have to see this next story. New video shows 2 toddlers just walking across A1A in Brevard County all alone.
And this is a story you'll see only here on WESH 2. WESH 2's Christina Watkins joins us live in the studio this morning. Christina, thankfully, one man saw what was happening and quickly in the video behind you got those toddlers off the road.
Can you imagine how scary this must have been for these 2 little girls here? So in the video, you'll see that man stop traffic with one hand before grabbing these 2 little girls.
My adrenaline spiked. I had a migraine when I finally got home. I was drained completely for the rest of the day.
I bet he was. That's John Brittingham. He says he was driving home Sunday when he noticed those 2 girls right in the middle of the road. This exclusive dash cam video is from his car's front and back cameras.
One of them was already to the middle of the road, and I grabbed that one first, and then the second one I just picked up. She was ready, and I got him off the road.
So after that, he went to the Airbnb. You see it right here where the kids stayed, but he says no one answered the door when he knocked. He then saw an unlocked gate around back and believes that's how the children got out. Listen to this. He also says their family was clueless. The girls were gone.
An elderly couple and a young girl, and I, immediately they went into like, oh my God, we're so sorry. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm just glad I could get them back to you.
It is a miracle he was there. Brittingham said he did not call police because his main concern was reuniting these kids with their family. Nancy?
It just makes my heart stop every time I watch it.
It's tough to watch that video.
Wow. All right. The Crew 11 astronauts are preparing to undock from the International Space Station tomorrow.
NASA announced last week one of the crew members suffered from a serious medical problem. They held a change of command ceremony yesterday. They were all there present, and it wasn't apparent who was actually dealing with the medical problem. As the crew said their goodbyes, they didn't address it. Now, the undocking is scheduled for tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock. The Dragon capsule will splash down off the coast of California around 3:40 Thursday morning. WESH 2 will track their return and bring you any updates on the astronauts' health.
Oh, that whole thing. Such a mystery.
Yes.
Right? Every time I see video of them, I look closer. I'm like, who looks pale?
I was just looking there and seeing.
We may never know because it's health related,
Right.
you know. So either way, as long as everybody ends up okay,
Yeah, of course,
we can always travel back to space.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Just saying. Maybe they're astronauts. We cannot necessarily travel up to space.
You wish.
You know. All right, let's talk about the forecast this morning. It would be a great day for a launch because we see a mix of clouds and sunshine. Some showers down in South Florida. But what's interesting is this is actually the notice of change. This rain will gradually lift our direction and eventually become more widespread showers. For today, this is lunchtime on our Futurecast model. Notice a few sprinkles, but watch through the day, we see more of that green. That's letting you know the later we go today, the more an opportunity will be there for showers. 10, even 20% coverage. 69 our lunchtime temperature. We push to about 72 degrees this afternoon. Tomorrow, more rain and even more showers. Looking ahead to Thursday, we'll time it out when we see in just a couple minutes. Now let's look at that morning drive, see how things are doing with Megan Mackey.
Yeah, there's a new crash in Sorrento, Eric. It's here along Sorrento Road. It's right at Tuscan Oaks Court. Now, County Road 435 is going to be a small detour moving through this area. Seeing on the map here, you can see that bright red and yellow indicating a slight delay traveling there this morning. It looks like it's impacting mostly the westbound side of Sorrento Road. So I'll be keeping my eye on that for that morning drive. Other than that, things are pretty quiet to start off your Tuesday, including along the Turnpike. This is a live look here in between State Road 408 and the 429 interchange. No delays either direction, and those travel times are still looking good. You can see here along the Turnpike in between US 27 and I-75, northbound and southbound, we're less than 20 minutes.
It's been 1 year since a child lost his life in a dog attack. The change this tragic incident is sparking.
Plus, more birds found dead at Lake Eola, many of them the iconic swans. What's now being done to combat the bird flu?
And more manatees heading back to warmer waters this week. How a local state park is giving you the opportunity to see them in a new way.
Welcome back. 6:14 is the time. We've got 2 rounds of rain moving our direction and a big chill as well. Let's get into the numbers to help you and your family plan for a big change in our forecast in minutes.
Today marks 1 year since this little boy, we know 8-year-old Michael Millett, was killed in a dog attack in Volusia County. Michael was just riding his bike when he was attacked and killed by 2 dogs in January 2025.
Just horrific. His death really shocked the community, of course, and sparked conversations about safety and accountability. His parents drove to Tallahassee in March, pushing for changes to state law. The law holds owners of dangerous dogs accountable and aims to prevent future attacks. In Volusia County, leaders also took action, passing a local ordinance in May that requires dogs classified as dangerous dangerous to have at least $500,000 in liability insurance. The dogs were euthanized quickly after the attack, but it was not until August of last year that the owners of the dogs were charged with tampering with evidence. Investigators say they deleted messages, one warning the dog was dangerous and the other admitting the dog was loose the day of the attack. The family had hoped for felony manslaughter charges, but officials say there just was not enough evidence for that. The two are now out on bond.
I'd like to see her sitting in orange like those other inmates in there.
Dog owners will be in court later this month. The trial starts in February.
Well, we are getting colder, and that means manatees are moving back into Blue Springs State Park. The park counted 105 manatees yesterday, and with those manatees coming, the park is offering a very unique experience this Friday. Park After Dark lets you explore the area in a whole new light. It starts with a nature journaling class. Then you can picnic and watch the sunset before going on a stroll down the boardwalk and seeing those sleeping manatees. The event is just $3 per person.
That's so cool.
That sounds so neat.
Doesn't that sound
like sun setting? Just like the quiet of it.
Having a nice little picnic. You know, this is something that I've done. I've seen the manatees before.
Oh, he doesn't need to do that.
That almost sounded like you were planning a date night.
It sounds like
Right?
a date night. It does. Look
With
how
each
neat
other?
that
I don't
is.
know. I don't know what just happened.
And it's in a new light, like because the sunset.
So cool.
Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. It's chilly for the manatees. It's chilly for us. And just you wait until Friday because it's going to be really chilly. Let's talk about temperatures first for today and get you ready for that, all right? Beginning with readings in the 50s, light sweatshirt, that sort of thing. Temperatures today climbing to about 72 degrees, but we're watching big changes. First off, tomorrow and Thursday turn wet. We've got a series of storm systems basically moving through. The second is a cold front that's going to throw down some very cold air. We're talking about a frigid air mass. Now, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's just start off with later today. This is going to be 7:30. Futurecast showing some showers around the area. Nothing strong, but showers with us. That lingers overnight. And then through tomorrow morning, this is 7 a.m., we'll watch more rains coming in from the north as that first piece of energy moves through. Then tomorrow afternoon into the evening, we watch this front start moving our direction. So some dinner time showers tomorrow. But my biggest weather concern will be Thursday morning. This is 3 a.m. It's as far as our Futurecast model goes, but we see a much wider swath of rain with some pockets of torrential downpours in there. Thursday's morning commute may be a little dicey, so just start planning for a little extra time Thursday morning. But the bottom line is we've got several opportunities for rainfall. Now, the first piece of energy kind of develops over Florida and leaves. The second one is going to be this very strong cold front, and as it sweeps the moisture out, it throws in some Canadian air. Thus, it's going to be so cold, we have to call it impact weather. It's going to impact you, especially if you're, stepping out the door and you're not prepared for it. Actual temperatures dropping to 34 in Orlando, 30 degrees in Leesburg. Latest modeling says 28 for the actual temperature in the Villages, 27 in Ocala. You've been at 28 degrees this season in Ocala, so 27 is going to be even colder than you've seen all year long. And Megan Mackey asked me a couple of minutes ago, is it going to stay cool all day? And the answer is yes. We only make it to 58 degrees in Orlando. That's it. 57 degrees in the Villages, 54 in Ocala, and about 54 degrees in Daytona Beach. So yes, we've got a comfortable day today, some showers tomorrow, rain the first part of the day Thursday, and then Friday is frigid this week before we rebound a bit looking ahead to the weekend. All in, not bad, because we know what to expect, Megan.
Yeah, Eric, I definitely was trying to plan. What am I going to do Friday night? Go out or stay on my couch? Definitely going to stay on my couch with how cold those temperatures are going to be. Heading out the door this morning, we do have a partial roadblock right now in Sorrento. It's along Sorrento Road right at Tuscan Oaks Court. You can see here that purple and red, that is highlighting those lane closures in that area. So County Road 435 is going to be the detour traveling through this area. Small detour, not going to impact a whole lot of you because this is in Sorrento, but traveling here, this is a major artery through that area. So I did want want to mention it. State Road 408, this is a live look here. This is right at the I-4 interchange. No delays here for that morning drive. And speaking of I-4, we are nice and quiet along I-4 starting in Winter Park. This is right at Lee Road. Eastbound traffic here is picking up, heading towards Maitland and Altamont Springs, but still so far no need for those express lanes. You can see those travel times in the green here between Lake Mary Boulevard and Princeton Street. Both directions were at less than 12 minutes.
The Supreme Court will hear 2 cases involving transgender athletes today. The constitutional questions the justices will answer.
Plus, the next round of the NFL playoff bracket is set. Who will go head-to-head in the divisional rounds? Next.
Meantime, the next round of the NFL bracket is now set.
If you watched the game last night between Houston and Pittsburgh, it was a blowout. Houston destroyed the Steelers. So here's the schedule for Saturday. Buffalo takes on Denver in the AFC, and the 49ers play Seattle in the NFC. On Sunday, the Patriots play the Texans and the Bears play the Chargers. Then we will head to the conference championships and, of course, later the Super Bowl. And remember, folks, Super Bowl 60 airs right here on WESH 2. You can watch it. The big game is February 8th. Starts at 6:30 p.m.
With Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
I'm going to add that every time.
You should.
All right, ahead on Sunrise, there's a new push for the city of Mount Dora to upgrade its stormwater infrastructure.
Plus, Flagler Beach commissioners vote to annex the controversial Summertown development to the city. Why residents say that's what they feared.
And cell phone video captures a man falling 500 feet from the air to the ocean. That story of a miraculous survival. Next.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Farah and Farah.
6:30 on this Tuesday morning, and today marks the start of the legislative session.
And there's a lot lawmakers plan to discuss,
including property taxes, why the governor's pushing to eliminate them, and the big changes that could force on local governments.
Lawmakers also looking to regulate how artificial intelligence is used in Florida, why it's getting a lot of attention right now. And
oh my gosh. When I heard the number, I was actually quite blown away. 500 feet is an incredible thing to survive.
A paraglider falls 500 feet out of the air, how lifeguards and a bystander help save his life.
WESH 2 News Sunrise starts now.
Good Tuesday morning, everyone. It's 6:30. Thanks for waking up with WESH 2 News Sunrise. I'm Alan Campbell.
And I'm Nancy Alvarez. Let's get straight to First Warning meteorologist Eric Burris for a look at the day and week ahead, because this is going to get colder and colder out there.
We have such an active pattern right now. We were in the 80s on cruise control. That is in the rear view mirror, though, because, yes, we've got rain first and then some of the coldest air of the season. And we start with those changes today. Waking up to comfortable readings in the 50s. We'll work to about 70 degrees lunchtime. 72 is our high temperature on the day, and there's a few sprinkles in the forecast today, but changes really start arriving late today into tomorrow. Outside Daytona Beach, you are looking fantastic. No rain on our radar this morning. Temperatures just a little bit warmer than yesterday, 5, 10, 15 degrees warmer. It's 60 in Daytona Beach, 55 outside in Orlando, 51 in Leesburg, and we've dropped back into the 40s here in Ocala. So for today, comfortably cool morning, but right where we should be this afternoon, just dialing in a few of those showers. So let's time out the rain and look ahead to how that really brings the temperatures down by late week when I see you in just a couple of minutes. Now, just about 6:32, time for a traffic check, and Megan Mackey.
Good morning, Eric. Starting to see some delays here building along I-4. This is in the Walt Disney World area close to the State Road 536 exit. You can see the backups here traveling eastbound a little bit heavier than normal for this early in the morning. I'm not seeing any crashes pop up right now, but you can see it is bumper to bumper here on the eastbound side of I-4 in that area, traveling near Walt Disney World. So delays expected there. Downtown Orlando, though, we are nice and quiet. Looking live here from our tower camera. This is passing by Lake Ivanhoe. You can see no big slowdowns here, just a bit of a backup there getting off eastbound at Princeton Street. Aside from that, no crashes along the I-4 corridor. There is a crash, though, in Sorrento Road. This is right at Tuscan Oaks Court. County Road 435 is going to be the best detour through that area. I'll be keeping my eye on this roadblock, and we'll get a check of some of those travel times in just a few minutes.
This morning, state lawmakers are starting to work on plans to cut property taxes.
Got to pay close attention to this. The legislative session gets underway in just a few hours in Tallahassee. WESH 2's Bob Hazen joining us live this morning. So, Bob, the governor wants to eliminate the property tax.
Yeah, he wants to scrap it for any homesteaded property. It's not clear, though, if lawmakers will go that far while they're in Tallahassee over the next 60 days.
Bob, also this session, a Volusia County lawmaker wants to create rules for how the technology is used right here in the Sunshine State.
A proposed law known as the AI Bill of Rights looks to protect consumers from harmful or misleading uses. And among the biggest changes, giving parents more control over how AI interacts with their kids. This comes as Governor Ron DeSantis warns about the risks of rapidly expanding AI.
I do think that artificial intelligence and what's being pushed is something that requires some thoughtfulness, and we have every right and duty to channel that in a way that is going to benefit our people, and not in ways that are going to be harmful.
The bill would also give Floridians the right to sue if AI uses their name, image, or likeness without permission. And WESH 2 will, of course, be staying on top of Florida's legislative session until it wraps in March. Stay with us on air, online, and through our free mobile app for any major updates from Tallahassee.
6:35, people packed into City Hall as Flagler Beach commissioners voted to annex the controversial Summertown development into the city. The development is along John Anderson Road, south of Moody Boulevard. The 545-acre development will go just west of John Anderson Highway with more than 1,600 homes. A build-out that would significantly increase the city's population, which currently sits around 5,000. Residents worry it's too much, too soon.
We're talking about the impact fees and this kind of thing here, but it's going to be a while before the impact fees and the tax base that they're talking about that we will appreciate is going to actually come to fruition.
Now, we did reach out to the developer for comment, but are still waiting to hear back. We know after concerns about the environment, Flagler County Commissioner Andy Dance says a deal with the developer will protect more than 150 acres of floodplain along Willow Creek at their Summertown property. Well, there's a new push for infrastructure upgrades in Mount Dora after historic flooding washed out roads and damaged homes. This was back in October.
Oh, it was so stressful. WESH 2's Jason Guy joining us now in the studio. Jason, a group of homeowners, they've had it. They say some of the stormwater issues here have been around for some time.
Yeah, real headache for them, and they're hoping for a total redesign of that stormwater system in their area and for new restrictions to be placed on developments that will look at the total runoff impacts. WESH 2 News spoke with Linda Heyman and her husband. They tell us they bought their home there in 2010, and they say it took just a couple of years for their driveway to start washing away. Look up at your screen. Are you seeing these images? And now the issues, they tell us, are only increasing.
Development's going to happen, but they have to take care of the residents that already live here. We pay taxes.
Neighbors in the Dogwood Mountain subdivision, as well as those along Lake Gertrude and Old Eustis Road, are set to meet with city officials coming up this afternoon. That gathering at the Mount Dora Library is set for 3 p.m. We're going to let you know what comes out of it. Back to you.
A paraglider is lucky to be alive this morning after falling 500 feet into the ocean.
This is one of those I read while trying not to look at the video. This happened about 2 hours south of us in Riviera Beach.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Ooh, witnesses used their cell phones, of course, to capture the fall. At the same time, a lifeguard with Palm Beach County Ocean Rescue noticed the motorized paraglider losing control after hitting a wind gust.
I just started running and I radioed to my partner, grabbed our rescue board and rescue tube and paddled out in tandem.
They brought the paraglider back to shore, who only suffered cuts and scrapes since he was wearing a helmet. The team also thanking a nearby snorkeler who helped free the man from his lines and help the paraglider above water. Just incredible. We keep talking about things that Alan has never done. If you want to do that, you're on your own.
Yeah, that is something I will not do. You know, I used to do a lot of stories with U.S. Coast Guard rescue swimmers. They would say anything if you fall and hit the water from more than 30 feet, it's like hitting concrete.
I mean, you see that splash, and 500 feet is really, really.
That's incredible.
That is incredible.
Okay.
But you know what it shows is like timing is everything.
Right.
The snorkeler was there to help start cutting things together. The lifeguards were there, and everything works out.
Incredible.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the forecast, because timing out things here is really going to play into how you prepare the next few mornings. This morning, we're watching showers in South Florida. That will start moving our direction later today. In our area, area, our morning commute is fine. We've got a mix of clouds and eventually sunshine, but those showers do lift up to the point where at least through midday today and into the evening, Orlando off to the south has a low-end chance of rainfall. But here's what I want you to know for this morning. It's long sleeve weather, not as cold as yesterday, but cool enough. 55 or so in the city. We warmed to about 72 this afternoon, so you can do the comfy clothes later. But we're about to get to parka weather. It's going to be cold, not just Central Florida style, but real cold. Let's discuss when I see you in just a couple of minutes. Now at 6:41, let's get a traffic check. Megan, good morning.
Good morning, Eric. This is a live look here. I-4 traveling out the door. This is just south of downtown Orlando. You can see no slowdowns here for that morning drive. Nice and quiet. Same thing in Winter Park from our tower camera at WESH 2. This is right at Lee Road. A smooth start in both directions, but traffic slowly starting to pick up. There was a crash in Sorrento Road at Tuscan Oaks Court. Use County Road 435 as a detour. Those travel times this morning, though, still looking good. We're in the green here between State Road 44 and DeBerry Avenue along I-4, westbound and eastbound. We're at less than 10 minutes.
I could not believe it. Like, there was a car in front of my door. I could not believe how he survived. I saw the video.
A driver somehow walks away unhurt after this wild crash, all caught on camera. We take a closer look at that video.
Plus, calling all local artists, why the city of Oviedo is looking for a sculptor. Next.
You're watching WESH 2 News.
Federal prosecutors filed charges against one of two people shot by Border Patrol agents in Portland last week.
Yeah, Luis Nino Moncada appeared in federal court yesterday.
Well, the city of Mount Dora now getting ready for Florida Arbor Day. It's hosting an event to recognize the live oak and redbud as Mount Dora's official city tree. Those trees will then be planted at Donnelly Park this Friday at 11:30 a.m. Now, in addition to those plantings, the city is offering residents a free tree to plant at their home. The trees are selected to fit your property, increase shade, improve air quality, and also reduce heat.
And the city of Claremont also getting in on the celebrations with its own sapling giveaway. This Saturday, you can get one from the Lakeside Pavilion at Lake Hiawatha Preserve. Several hundred bald cypress and slash pine will be available while supplies last. This event runs from 8 a.m. until 2.
This morning, the city of Oviedo is looking for an artist to design a sculpture representing the city's flora and fauna. The selected work will eventually be placed on Oviedo Boulevard at Center Lake Lane. Designs must be suitable for the public and also use outdoor safe materials. The deadline for submissions is February 4th. We will have more information on our website. Go to WESH.com.
All right, not spring, but certainly a good week to plant some trees around here.
I would say we're going to get a little bit of shower activity, some cooler temperatures. That said, though, like, are they hardy enough to be able to withstand? I mean, seriously,
yeah.
It's going to be cold. And I had a couple neighbors asking yesterday, like, hey, you know, cover up the plants on Friday. I said, no, cover them Thursday nights because Friday morning is going to be when those temperatures dip. First off, let's just make sure we're good for today. Here's a look at our bus stop forecast. Comfy cool, so longer sleeves, not a bad idea to start. But into the afternoon, we're back to 72 degrees. There'll be a few spotty showers. It's not going to be any kind of a deluge expected. But yeah, Friday morning, the coldest air in years arrives to Central Florida with temperatures in the 20s and 30s and feels like temperatures widespread in the 20s. Here's the air temperatures just above freezing in Orlando, but the suburbs will get to right around freezing. 32 in Sanford, Bithlo, Wedgefield, Avalon Park, 34 New Smyrna Beach, but you head inland a touch like Port Orange, probably going to be around 32 degrees. Osteen, 29, 30. DeLand, 30 degrees. 32 in Palm Coast. Will be to 27 in Ocala. You've made it down to 28 twice this year. This will still be colder than that. 30 degrees in Leesburg and 34 in Kissimmee. So, coldest of the season is very clearly chilly. We've had a pretty cold winter thus far, but we're going to beat it for everybody but Melbourne. Melbourne, you hit 35. We're expecting the upper 30s for you. So it's impact weather, but it's also not just the temperatures. There's a gusty wind to it. Also makes the metro and all inland spots feel like the 20s. Even Flagler, Volusia will feel like the 20s. Brevard's coastal communities, 30s. But you head inland like Palm Bay or say back over toward Malabar, same idea. So we're milder now. A few showers starting to lift into our area tonight. through tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow night into Friday morning, that's when the front moves in. That's going to push a bunch of rain. Thursday's morning commute looks pretty sloppy, but then we clear it out and we'll cool it down. Here's Futurecast for this afternoon. A few spotty showers, but notice dinner time into bedtime, that's when we grow the rain chance and start to see that moisture moving in. So for today, it's a 10% coverage, basically metro off to the south. Later in the day, the higher opportunity. For tomorrow, a few more showers, but Thursday morning is going to be pretty wet. At this hour, nothing to see on our first warning live radar. Gotta love that. Upper 60s for highs in our northern spots, lower 70s through the metro. It's going to be a beautiful day, and our tower cam network along the coast is showing a clearish sky. It's beautiful. 40s and 50s to get you out the door. We're headed to about 72 degrees. Showers tomorrow, rain for our Thursday morning, and then it is frigid for our Friday, Megan.
Yeah, I'm getting another check of traffic this morning, Erica. Just a couple of issues for that morning drive here in Sorrento. There's this crash along Sorrento Road. It's right at Tuscan Oaks Court. So seeing some improvement here in those delays highlighted on the map, but County Road 435 is still going to be the best detour traveling through this area, but FHP is directing drivers around that crash this morning. State Road 417, this is a live look in Lake Nona. This is right near the Lake Nona exit here, Lake Nona Boulevard. You can see no slowdowns either direction. Same thing along I-4 from our tower camera at WESH 2 at Lee Road, looking up towards Maitland Boulevard. Quieter traffic eastbound heading into Seminole County. Westbound a little bit heavier heading towards downtown Orlando, but again off to a pretty quiet start. You can see here those delays just starting to build slightly along the 408 westbound from State Road 417 to I-4, that interchange. Westbound we're at 9 minutes, eastbound we're at less than 6. It is 6:52 on your Tuesday. Your top stories are straight ahead.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Farah and Farah.
6:55, and today is the start of the legislative session.
There are hundreds of bills being considered, including the age to buy a gun, a teacher oath, and a proposal to eliminate property taxes. Bob.
That's been a focus of the governor, and now lawmakers get to work on it. One bill would get rid of the non-school taxes on homesteaded properties. Another would phase them out over 10 years. Now, they have 60 days to figure out exactly what to do, but the governor's also floated the idea of a special session on property taxes.
Other bills tackle an artificial intelligence bill of rights to set boundaries on the technology.
Plus, a bill to keep students in the classroom and updating vaccine requirements for our kids.
And a bill that would make holding your cell phone behind the wheel illegal.
WESH 2 is staying on top of Florida's legislative session until it wraps up in March. Download the WESH 2 app for any major updates from Tallahassee.
Also today, the Orange County School Board is expected to vote on the future of the historic Hungerford property. The school board drafted an agreement with Dr. Phillips Charities. Count on WESH 2 to watch that meeting and let you know if the sale goes through.
See, this morning we are waking up beautifully, not as cool as yesterday, but with a few clouds over top of us. Temperatures are still cool enough. 40s and 50s out there. We'll work to about 70 lunchtime, 72 this afternoon. 10% chance of a few passing showers. More rain for tomorrow and Thursday, and then turning frigid. Friday is impact weather. Megan.
Final check of traffic for that morning drive. This is a live look here, looking to get that out the door along I-4. No issues there if you're traveling that way. One crash in Sorrento, but not going to cause too much issues. It's Sorrento Road there in that area, so just make sure you're using caution with that roadblock.
Thanks for spending your morning with our Sunrise team.
We have 3 more hours of local news, weather, and traffic on CW 18. The Today Show is next right here on WESH 2.
Closed captioning is sponsored by your Southern Lexus dealer.